Welcome to subramani.com. I hope you're enjoying the videos that I'm putting up for you. Some time back, I was trying to recruit a relationship manager for an IFA friend, and I realized the limitations of a relationship manager. So one girl had come and she was a relationship manager working in one of the biggest private sector banks, and the bank has about 17,000 relationship managers. She was one among them. She was very bright. She was a student of CFA. She had cleared 2 groups. I'm telling you all this because you need to understand that she understood her subject. And when I asked her for the details, it was quite numbing for me because here was a 27-year-old who was asked to deal with 640 customers. Let me repeat, 640 customers, and which meant 640 families. Now, fairly obvious that each family has its peculiar needs. Somebody wants to travel, somebody wants security, somebody is a 74-year-old wanting a pension, somebody is a 37-year-old wanting to buy a pension plan, right? With all this, can you really juggle 640 families? You're talking of the requirement of 2,000 people, at least maybe 3,000 people, right? So coming to think of it, she knew what all to ask, what all were the variables to ask. But the question is, did she have enough time to even think about the client's requirement, or was she just hell-bent on selling a product, right? So she was expected to do financial advisory for 3,000 people. Believe me, without a support staff, and banks have zero support from the bank itself. Bank relationship managers don't get too much support. They're only asked one question: kitna mal becha? How much did you sell? And do you expect a kid to be able to do so much of justice to you? I really don't know. When I was talking to her, she said she's handling a transmission. Handling a transmission is not easy because you're talking of some 20-30 companies which a person had not put in the nominee. So the family was asking her, what is the process, what is the procedure? She was not sure herself, so which meant she had to just say, I will ask and tell you. There was no clarity as to whom she would ask. So juggling so many things, and everybody you can't call your client because if you can't do justice to so many people. So, and I asked her what she wants to do next. So she said she wants to be a financial advisor. Now, you really can't become a financial advisor using this route. Now, the attitude is to say, I want to learn, I want to become a financial advisor, but to become a financial advisor, the relationship manager is not the route. You can read about the banks recruiting MBAs and chartered accountants to become financial advisors, but believe me, when you handle 640 customers, you're hardly anything more than a call center. That's what you're doing, because you got your bank expects you to do an MIS. How many people did you meet? What did you do this week? What happened last month? What happened, right? Continuously doing that. But when a relationship manager gets a call from the client saying, I need more dividends from my mutual fund, honestly, the relationship manager doesn't have an answer. So she says, yes sir, we have a mutual fund, it's a balanced fund, it's a very good fund, from that you can get 1% per month dividend. Really? Can some fund really give you 12% return? The answer is no, but she does not have the ability or the calmness to say, sir, you are now 44 years of age, you do not need the cash flow. When you retire, you can have a cash flow. So right now, let us put money in the same balance fund, but start doing a systematic withdrawal plan after you're 65. That is what she's supposed to say, but she ends up saying something else because she's got a target which says you have to sell so much. The client says he wants a dividend, then you don't even feel bad that you sold a dividend plan from a fund which is actually underperforming. Maybe it's giving 7-8% kind of return. So when you're giving 8% return, how are you going to pay 12% dividend? A part of the dividend comes from the capital. this is the worst case scenario, that the dividend comes from your capital and on that you pay tax, because there is a 10% automatic tax on which there is no, you don't get a tax deduction certificate. So your own money is coming back to you, but you're paying a tax on that. How worse can this get, right? So this is just one example, but it is almost impossible for a relationship manager to become your financial advisor. Your financial advisor should be able to look at you in the eye and say, you don't need this product. Why do you need this product at all? Why do you need term insurance for yourself? Both your daughters are about to start earning. Your wife has got an independent income. You don't need term insurance also. Yes, of course, the client is going to come back and say, no, I read in Subramani that I need term insurance. Wrong. If there is nobody dependent on you, you don't need term insurance. Yes, if you are going to borrow further, you may need term insurance, but you sat down, you finished your goals or almost all your goals, you don't need the product. But it's very difficult for a relationship manager to say that you don't need the product. So constantly you have your requirement of taxes, of debt, etc. So she or he is going to keep on giving you some products. So saying, oh, you have taxes, take this ATC, in spite of the fact that your PF may have exhausted your ATC. So need to think, apply your mind. It's very difficult for a relationship manager. Poor kids, they have tremendous pressure, but you have to understand your interest and say, okay, I need a financial advisor, somebody who will understand my requirements, somebody who is my age, who will give a pushback when I say something, will say, no, this is not possible, don't talk through your hat. You can't get 24% return, reduce the size of your goal. A financial advisor is supposed to tell you all that, not just try to find you a product which will give you 24% or 18% or 36%. That's not their job. Their job is to push back and say this is possible, this is not possible, or to say at this rate of SIP that you are doing after 7 years, you will not be able to afford the bigger car, you will be able to afford the smaller car. That is the job of a financial advisor. That is something which the relationship manager cannot do. An advisor explains the full plan, full picture, and knows that it has to be executed in whole, not just portions of it. Whereas a relationship manager will say, sir, aaj ye le lo. For them, they have a target, so they'll say, sir, you got everything, but please to open a recurring deposit with me. It doesn't really help, somebody with a 65 lakh money lying in the savings bank account, opening a 1000 rupee RD just because the relationship manager has a target. But still, an RD is definitely less damaging than some other mistakes like buying a ULIP, right? So the relationship manager does connect, but the pressure to sell is far greater than the connect. For example, when you borrow money, the relationship manager will automatically give you a term plan, but they may give you a single premium term plan which may not suit you. What you should have is a term plan with a quarterly payment, ideally, because you can throw away the policy whenever you want. So suppose you have taken a 4 crore loan and after 4 years you find that you have repaid the loan. You do not need that extra 4 crore of term insurance that you took. But if you take it from a bank, there is a very good chance that they will give you a term insurance with return of premium or a single premium term plan covering a period of 10 years or 15 years. May not have made sense, because once the term loan is over and you throw out the policy, you have unnecessarily paid extra premium, right? So understand the difference between what an advisor should do and what a relationship manager can do. That is your job, so that you ask the advisor a different set of questions and a relationship manager a completely different set of questions. Thank you.